Welcome to this modest death battle proposal by yours truly. Thank you all for your interest and support. The first proposed combatant this time is Captain Jack Sparrow. The opponent for this discussion is Captain James Hook. The amount of similar themes between these two is astounding. For starters, they're both iconic Disney pirates generally considered silly or comical to a degree, Jack with his drunkenness and Hook with his own buffoonery. They're both hounded by a ravenous sea monster, whether Davy Jones' Kraken after Jack or Hook hunted by the crocodile or his own tentacled beastie. They're both focused on activities outside of pirating other ships, at least in the majority of their appearances, Jack pursuing hidden treasure, and Hook obsessing over getting revenge. They both lead questionably loyal crews one step away from mutiny, if not for their first mates, and both are known for long-standing rivalries with Barbossa and Peter Pan respectively. Additionally, both are somewhat familiar with the concept of immortality, between Jack with Isla de Muerta and the Fountain of Youth, and Hook occupying Neverland where no one ever grows up, or older in other words. Long story short, I see more connections here than with Jack versus Indiana Jones. A preliminary comparison shows that there exists a good deal of competitive evenness between these two. They both primarily use swords, Jack a cutlass and Hook an epee, and flintlock pistols, Jack slightly edges with a long barrel firearm feat. They're both strategic thinkers who tend to maneuver an advantage against opponents before engaging in their duels. Jack's advantage lies in his quicker wit and more out-of-the-box thinking and the cartoonish nature of his escape hijinks. Also, the Black Pearl has confirmed speed advantage over most vessels. Hook, on the other hand, has a more aggressive nature and cartoonish strength, enough to force open a crocodile's jaws. Additionally, the Jolly Roger can fly. Enough said there. As for my ideas for the fight, the track name I had in mind is Hooked on Pirates. The track art decorated with letters like R and C and I and even an X for good measure. The music itself would be styled after a madcap sea shanty that could take inspiration from the He's a Pirate track, the classic A Pirate's Life for Me, or Hook's song The Elegant Captain Hook. The setting would most likely be Neverland, given Jack's propensity to travel, but any Caribbean island would also work just as well. The setup for this fight practically writes itself. Jack encroaches on Hook, whether by drunkenly stumbling onto the Jolly Roger or into Hook at a bar, and his natural charisma irritates Hook enough to fight. From the get-go, one happening is certain. Jack and Hook would cross swords only for Jack to try to escape. Flintlocks would be brought in at some point, potentially with two shots colliding in midair. Shenanigans would ensue during the escape, whether it's Jack swinging through the rigging, making it into the bar's rafters or second floor, running through the Jolly Roger's lower decks, or any number of other context-sensitive tomfoolery, like Jack finding a bottle of rum, owned by Hook, and downing the whole thing. No matter how it happens, somehow Jack makes it onto the Black Pearl, where a ship battle ensues that only ends when the Jolly Roger flies and Jack goes for escape again. The last detail to note is a bomb for Jack to notice in his rum bottle. Which leads to my initial prediction, that Hook shanghais the Sparrow. This might surprise some, but there's quite a few factors in my decision. For starters, despite appearances, I believe Hook to be the more capable swordsman. Jack might not be shown losing as often, but rarely does he fully succeed without outside help taking focus away from him. Also, Hook regularly holds his own against opponents who can fly and attack him from any angle. Second, the death battle combat mindset favors Hook. Jack, more often than not, fights to run away. Hook fights to kill. Third, and most damning of all, are the weaknesses. Jack's alcoholism, or rumism, is easily more telegraphed than Hook's fear of a certain alarm clock, and Hook has the means and cunning to take advantage of it. Hook may also be vulnerable to verbal barbs, but it's uncertain whether Jack would be able to pick up on this. Peter Pan had countless years of experience to find just the right words to upset Hook every time, and the way Hook carries himself wouldn't easily betray this chink in his composure. That, and Hook has the strength to force open a crocodile's jaws fully set on closing on him. In other words, My predicted winner is Captain James Hook. Thank you again for listening. Feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts.